Hi, this is Zak Mir with an Easter special. Let's look at the top risers, or at least some of the top risers on the small cap front so far this year. Starting off with a stock which I don't think anyone would have reckoned on, which is Berkeley Energia. Here, the shares actually started turning during January, and they were around the sort of 17, 18 pence level then. We're in a rising trend channel, and I suppose the main reason we're including the stock today is that we're still looking for further upside towards the top of that channel from the end of December there, as high as 36 pence, perhaps by the end of next month. The issue here, obviously, is that the company is affected by not only Spanish politics, but also sort of environmental issues as well. So there's an ebb and flow there in terms of what the prospects for that company is. But looking at the charting situation, apart from the rising 50 and 200-day lines, we also had the RSI almost entirely above the neutral 50 level since the end of January, and bouncing above that even as we speak. The longer we stay above 25, the greater the chance of move to 36 on that situation. Moving on to a more conventional riser, it's been Capai, which has been charted here basically since since the beginning, really, the middle of March. The start of the rally was a typical one, which was a unfilled gap to the upside through recent resistance, which at that time was around 0.06. You can see that we had an initial 0.07 target, then 0.1, then 0.19, and then 0.36, which is where we are at the moment. Above that, looking for a final move in the near term as high as 0.66. But what a turnaround that's been, and driven by the sort of refocusing of the group as well. The nasty part was the pullback from 0.5 down to 0.21, basically earlier this month, which I suppose would have encouraged most people to take profits or just get out, or etc., etc. But probably now looking for an end-of-day close above 0.49, which seems to be recent resistance, to get us up to a potential fresh leg. You can also see that here we had the RSI rebound at neutral 50, which gave us the second leg higher, which was actually, or second wave higher, which in a way was easier than the first. Moving on to Cora Gold, which rather simply had decent news from Mali to get it going in the near term anyway. Almost the same setup as the Capai setup. So it was an unfilled gap to the upside through resistance, in this case through 3.3 pence, and we've been pushing up ever since. You can see the first target there was 3.7. Second one around 6 pence, and now above 6 pence we're actually looking for as high as 10 pence by the end of next month, which seems a bit optimistic, but obviously the shares still maintaining that momentum with that V-shaped bull flag well above old resistance, suggests that we are still in strong mode. Obviously, Aquis being Aquis, there aren't 1,000 situations to choose from there, but I thought I had to put in one, which is EDX Medical. Here we've had decent news here in terms of the company delivering new diagnostic tools for the masses. Current situation is that we are at the top of that rising trend channel, 14.5 pence, and above that, say 15 pence plus, looking for the shares to hit 21 pence perhaps as soon as the end of next month. We've already had a golden cross at the beginning of last month, and with the shares gapping up well over the recent past despite fundraisers, this is still looking very strong indeed. Only back below the 50-day line and recent resistance at 12 pence, really delaying the upside scenario. On to a stock which I was very pleased to have identified. Very difficult to identify explorers and get them right, but here we had Great Southern Copper, and although we are still in consolidation mode at and around the old August 2023 resistance, 3.8 pence, above that we're looking for not only a retest of the best levels of the turn of the month through 5 pence, but up to as high as 6.5 pence by the end of next month. Nice bounces for the shares, or at least the RSI near that neutral 50 level. Hopefully we can stay above that, otherwise we might have to have a test of the 50-day line near 3.2 pence. The big win of the year in terms of market cap and the share price has been Greatland Gold. I suppose the disappointment here is that it probably took rather longer than most people were expecting, but we did finally manage to break out of that 6p to 9 pence range. tested as support just a couple of weeks ago, actually, and pushing now higher. One of the, I think that's the third or fourth target there at 13 pence, above 13 pence, looking for 17 pence, hopefully by the end of next month or even sooner. You can see the shares still very near the highs. A stock which you might have missed, and that's probably why I've included it into this particular session or video, is Mineral Financial. And here you can see that we've had a rising trend channel there from back in the autumn. The shares actually started moving in December, January, and basically above the 50-day line there at 21 pence. Still looking for a potential move as high as 35 pence, although it has to be admitted, shares looking a little bit tired now near that 25, 26 pence level, but it has been until now a decent riser and mover. Mkango transformed itself this year, and especially in the last couple of months. We've got a wide rising trend channel there from March, top of the channel there, heading for 23 pence, looking for that by the end of next month or even sooner. And you can see that with that latest gap, unfilled gap to the upside, the momentum's still here, and we're also backed by an uptrend line in the RSI window. So basically, the longer we stay above recent support near 15 pence, the greater the chance of a move to 23 pence. And obviously on a fundamental basis, the lay of the land looking very much in favour of the company. Another stealth riser over the recent past has been Nuformix, a long time turning around here from September, let's say, till that spike that we had back in January. Current situation, though, is we are finding, well, we found support above the 200-day moving average and rising 50-day line there, so around the 0.01 level, or 0.1 level rather, and above 0.1, looking for up to 0.25 over the next couple of months. So we're looking at the end of June for that on a slow basis, given how slow the stock is moving. A stock which could be regarded as one of the best of the year as well by most people has been Orosur, who raised money and gone up as well. Rising trend channel there from October, top of the channel there, heading for 21 pence. We're looking at that by the end of June probably now, while we're above the 50-day line there, 11.6 pence. Nice RSI bounces at and above the neutral 50 level. So hopefully we're in the run up to a fresh leg to the upside. A stock which perhaps if you're looking at the market every day you might have missed, but there has been a breakout there for Panthera. Obviously a big litigation play, this one, and companies raise money of late as well. So looking for 17 pence at least by the end of next month, while we remain above that 50-day line. You can see the shares on the latest test of support bounced above that 50-day line at 10.5 pence. So looking particularly strong there for Panthera. Interviewed Thor Explorations the other week, and I think the shares were really around 24, 25 pence then. Shares have gapped up through resistance and held that gap. In fact, they gapped up twice, so looking very good indeed. And we're still looking for a rather ambitious sounding 47 pence by the end of next month, while we remain above our previous target there at 32 pence. On to the last two. First one is Vast, which I did point out at the time of the loan to the company, which I will look up the actual news story there, but interest-free loan from the CEO, leading from the front there. Can't do more than that, really, I suppose, as a CEO at the end of January, and the shares bounced then at the 200-day line, and they've kept on rising ever since. We're on our second target now towards 0.3 pence. Above that, we could even head as high as 0.46 pence by the end of next month. So hoping that the shares will start accelerating after that recent RSI 50 rebound. Finishing off with another stealth riser, which is Xeros, and here we had the unfilled gap to the upside, step progression really for this one as well, and looking for the shares to hit 1.5 pence over the near term, especially if we can get a near term break of the 50-day line, 1.15 pence. That's it for me today. More updates in a more usual fashion later in the bank holiday weekend.